What is 94 divided by 2?
How do you do this?
I have to finish this together. I mean, that's not gonna happen. I guess Sam expected me to do this shot, but that's okay.
Guys, we just released a video called Early Access Matrix. It's on the Corridor channel now. Check it out. Also, I'm about to show you a cool breakdown of one of my favorite shots from the piece. It's a cool shot where Nico runs and there's big explosions happening behind him. Let's take a look. It's not the most complicated shot, but I think it demonstrates some really classic compositing techniques. How do you do this? I filmed it with a gimbal. I'm just running next to him. The first step in a shot like this, the camera is moving in 3D space, parallel to Nico's running path. Before we figure out anything, we need to create a camera track. I apply it to the footage, I hit analyze, it thinks, boom, it spits out a camera. I honestly did not tweak it. It's all just on default settings. The next key thing is to figure out where the explosions are going to be. Where are the 3 points? After Effects' camera tracker puts together a bunch of points for me to choose from. These are the areas I've selected as potential areas of explosions. The next step that I did here, before even adding in like the actual explosion elements, is I wanted to recreate some smoke or mist trails of these grenade rounds flying into the distance. You know what? Grenades normally don't have smoke trails, but when you play a video game, they generally do. Is we're going to connect where the grenade is being fired from to the point of the explosion. I create more little nulls. These nulls here, as we can see, I put one off screen, and then over the course of, say, 12 frames, I copy the position of one of these explosion nulls, paste that additional data as its endpoint. It starts here and arcs towards the point that's going to explode. Outward from the camera to the exact position that's going to explode. And I do that 2 more times and I apply it to particular. Attach little emitters emitting smoke. Boom, boom, boom. It's a very subtle effect, but it provides some very, very effective parallax. I don't know, it's just like, it's that extra flavor. The actual like smoke texture, all I did is I just drop in a single frame of smoke from our own stock elements. Now we have everything tracked. We know where our explosions are going to be. We know where the fired shots are coming from. The final step here is to actually put the explosions in. I know, it's funny. The whole thing is about, this whole breakdown is about these explosions, and we haven't even put them in yet.
What is 94 divided by 2? This is gonna mess with me. Okay, here's the thing. Today, I was supposed to spend all day writing the next video. You remember that rocket video I put out like a couple weeks ago? Rockets are big. Well, I'm doing another one talking about, and I need to start working on that video, but instead, we are gonna be working on this Matrix video because it needs work. No, I know, I'm getting there. Next week, everyone's gonna be gone, except for you, me, Adrian, and Gabe, and we have the rest of this Matrix video to finish, which means that we're trying to get it all done by today. So instead of working on the solar panel video, I'm gonna... At the very end of the video, we have this moment where the ground suddenly kind of forgets that it's a ground, and you fall through it. Clint and Nico fall through the ground, and the camera whips up to see the ground receding away. I was under the impression Sam was doing that shot. That's kind of the impression I got from our conversations about it all week. But then yesterday he said, so you're doing that shot. But he also expected me to be working on my own video today. There's a lot of like conflicting scheduling stuff going on lately. But that's okay. This is the shot, and I already see one problem with this. The idea is that they're supposed to basically stay where they are as the ground moves past them, but the problem, the camera kind of pans with them, tilts with them, moves with them. It's a problem because I need to have both of these guys in the shot for the duration of the clip, but the camera's panning down so that we can get the parallax of the ground coming closer to the camera, but now the guys are off screen. And I think I remember Sam saying that he got a clean plate. The shot, you said you got a clean plate of the ground, of the camera going down into the ground. Did you also get a clean plate of Clint and Nico like wigging out without the camera moving?
Let's take a look. Let's take a look. I remember doing it. Wait, no, did I? We have this. Ah, they fall through.
Oh wait, that was it. It's an actual transition between them standing to them like floating, and ideally I have enough like kind of stuff in the meantime to make it look like they kind of fell forward. In theory, this should be easy.
What are you working on? Finishing up cutting the Matrix video. So it took me 3 days to put all this together. Adrian had a rough cut. I used that kind of as like a starting off point, but I essentially went back and looked at all the footage that there was and organized all that footage into scenes and then organized those scenes into takes. I just started taking little chunks chronologically, you know, taking little chunks of dialogue, bits of story between me and Nico, cutting it down and down and down and down, down until we got all of the essential key story moments and character moments together in a cohesive stream of clips. Because you want to have some sweet action and then get to the point in the video, which is I'm terrified of dying. I didn't know that I would actually die. You get back to the sweet action, and then I come back to a more ridiculous argument. Yeah, I think this video is gonna be super funny. I think it's gonna work. I'm very excited.
The final step here is to actually put the explosions in. I know, it's funny. It just so happens that putting them in, basically the fastest and easiest part. Because all we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be dropping in 3 elements per explosion. Big fireball, a debris hit, shadows for those debris hits. There's generally only, in my opinion, 2 or 3 types of explosions. There's concussive blasts and there's fireballs. Concussive blasts, which are just boom, dust exploding, no fire, no sparks. You have fireballs, which are boom, here's a bunch of flammable material all erupting. And there's variants of each, but right now we're going for fireballs because we want some like 90s cinematic flair. To get those elements, I'm gonna be using elements from the Action VFX packs. They have some incredible daylight filmed explosions against a blue sky and keyed out the blue. So that way you get the fire, you get the black smoke, and these things look 100% photoreal when you drop them into any scene. Our first explosion's there, boom. We've got just the explosion layer in. Hell, look how sloppy this is. Look, sometimes, don't tell anyone here, but I cut corners. I didn't even mask off the base. Now throw in our first layer of the concrete debris. Boom, boom, boom. I've aligned the debris naturally, so that way it looks like it's kind of bouncing off of something. And then the third layer here is just a very, very light shadow pass for some of that debris. So that way it looks like, you know, it's more physically there. And now all I'm gonna do is take variations on those same shots and repeat that. It's kind of sloppy work. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. I'm being hard on myself. It's not sloppy. This is how you make YouTube videos. You figure out how to do VFX really well, and you cut off literally every single corner you can, so that way you can release them on time. But now I've got all my stuff in there. Boom, it looks like stuff's getting shredded. All right, and a lot of people would say, hey, we're done. But not me.
Okay, took a while to rotoscope the 2 guys, and then I tracked the clean plate, and look at this. You know, nothing fancy about this, except they're not actually there. I have what I consider to be the perfect 2-monitor After Effects setup. The one right above tab next to 1 is your best friend. You can maximize any screen you want. The left monitor for like all like the random panels. At the very left you have your project panel. This can be bigger, whatever. And the bottom half is reserved for your entire comp. Then the other monitor is reserved entirely for your composition and effects, which is really nice if I'm like using levels and I need to adjust stuff. I don't have to look all the way over here and back. It's like, it's all just right here when I'm making my adjustments.
I'm totally stealing this, Wren. I'm totally stealing this. This is really good.
A whole another aspect to this that I haven't even started, and that's the 3D map falling away.
Yeah.
And the first part of that is here when we actually transition, like we see the bottom, like imagine the camera actually falling through the ground and like, or going down an elevator and you see like the floor above you go up.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm gonna add this shot of the floor actually like pulling away, which you can see here. That's the general gist. So as they're falling, you see the ground falling away. That's the first half of the shot. And I have to do a second render where the camera actually tilts up and you see the ground pulling away. I actually have a photo scan of this entire neighborhood here.
Wren, can you send that to me?
It's on the server.
Where's Zach? Use it for Spider-Man.
And now the shot has to be done in 40 minutes and I haven't even started rendering this stuff out. It's gonna be late.
How can we make this look better? I know 2 things. No. I know 3 things we can do to make this look better. Each time an explosion goes off, I'm generally a fan putting a single frame lens flare right where the explosion happened. And I'm using Knoll Light Factory for this. I love optical flares, but sometimes I forget to install it, and so I'm using Knoll Light Factory from Red Giant. Here, let's just see before and after, all right? Boom, 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 all right? After it flares. Boom, boom. See how they kind of like pop? They feel like they're popping now? It gives that concussive force back. Trick 1. The first layer of icing is complete. Lens flares. We're gonna put on a slightly thinner layer icing. Not as sweet. It's just called Real Smart Motion Blur. This shot was filmed with no motion blur, really high shutter speed. So I like to go back in afterwards and apply Real Smart Motion Blur to the whole shot, so that way everything kind of has this natural motion blur to it. These are small things, but they make big differences once you all add them together. My last piece of icing on this one is fake camera shake. A fireball, poof, a bunch of fire goes off. A concussive blast goes off though, and you're like, boom! I'm imagining if you are actually in a situation where these huge, like, deep explosions are going off, the shockwave is gonna hit it. Like, it's gonna hit everything. I'm going to use a plugin called Camera Shake by Red Giant. It's my new favorite camera shake plugin. I actually have it set to 0 for the entire time, all the way up until the explosion goes off. And when the explosion goes off, I say, hey, you know what? Let's kick it up a notch here. And so I have it go from 15% when the explosion happens, back down to about 0. And the next explosion goes off, and we go up to 40%, making it so it starts shaking and then calms down. Like that. Like these juddering, like, and that completes this shot. Once again, this is a very simple shot. We have minimal elements in here, but what we're doing is just applying the small little steps that we need to really make it pop. It's not one really difficult thing. It's a bunch of really small, easy things that are all working together to be really effective. So there's plenty of other cool shots that we don't have enough time to break down today, but you'll see them for yourself in the Early Access Matrix video. Go check it out on the Corridor channel right now.
The problem is that we got distracted trying to film this audible bit. Now the shot has to be done in 40 minutes, and I haven't even started rendering this stuff out of my 3D package, let alone composited it in After Effects. It's gonna be late.
You have to finish this today.
Hold on, I'm about to sneeze. I'm gonna finish it today. I'm not worried about that.
Or by 3:30.
I mean, that's not gonna happen.
Dude, we have to make it happen.
It's pure physics, render times. Even if I was done with this shot right now and hit render, we might have it done in time. This is not gonna be done by, I mean, I'm working on it to get it done as fast as I can. Maybe an hour and a half instead of 40 minutes.
Okay.
Is all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's gonna come out tomorrow. I'm gonna be done here shortly, but 40 minutes is a little too quick. Yeah, I'm at a point where I can't break it down minute by minute. It's just like the next step is done. So whenever that will happen. Yeah, so it's the beginning of the next day. We got all the stuff done last night, sent it out to Minnesota so that Sam and Nico could review it, and they liked it. They're like, done, reviewed. It's a finished video. Why are you still watching this video? You can be over on the Corridor channel watching that video. It's like, what, 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes long? And finish this video.
And then go watch Dirty Jobs.
And then, what?